I made a time-lapse video about printing, so I decided I would make another video, but this time talk about my process more, with paper making. So, first thing you want to do is put on an apron, which is sad because that means it'll cover up your new Pizza John shirt. But you want to protect your Pizza John shirt. Luckily, your apron has a dinosaur squid on it, so that's good. Next thing you want to do, plug in your space heater. First, before you plug in your space heater, you need to find an outlet for it. So, next, towels are really important in this operation because you use a lot of water and you're really messy. So you should probably use towels. For this operation, we got some really important things. We got a bucket for all your pulp that you're gonna make. You got a sieve to strain your pulp, because that's important. So you can separate your pulp from your water. You got a jug and some yogurt containers. Yogurt containers are amazing with paper making. Any different sizes too are really good to keep in mind because you might want different sizes of things. And screen and felt sheets things, which we'll get to later. Probably tomorrow. Paper making takes a lot of time. And if you want to make paper, you should not have a job, which I don't. So your job should be to make paper, which mine is, in a way. Yeah. Oh, and a big old tub. So step one, you're actually going to want to start filling this tub with water. Don't use too much. But warm water is better than cold water because the last time you used cold water in your cold basement, you got a cold. So don't do that. Get your paper. Paper source. For this, I'm using recycled paper. It kind of came from this book, which is called Number 9 Traveler, The Stalking Time, in my pants. Look how great the cover is. Anyways, it's 20 years after World War III. It's set 20 years after World War III. However, right now, it looks like this. And soon, it will look even less like a book. Let's hope. Pour the paper into the water. So this step is helpful but not always necessary. It's to soak the source in order to make it easier to blend. Used to help loosen the fibers because you're going to be separating all the fibers before you put them all back together. Look, it's your paper soaking in water. Ooh. So now while your paper is soaking in your water, you want to get the rest of your operation set up. Also vital in this process is a blender. This blender, if you're going to use it to make paper, you really shouldn't ever use it for food again. Please don't do it. Remember that this takes a lot of water. So, nice big old jug of water. So you want to have this quite full of water. And you don't want a very big paper to water ratio, or you want a bigger water to paper ratio. It's about a handful of paper source. to tell sometimes how long you want to blend it for. It all depends on how fine you want your paper or how chunky you want your paper. And to tell what you want your pulp to be like, you actually have to put your hand in it. But please, please, do not do this while the jar is still on the blender, because I know you turned it off, but there are blades at the bottom of this, and don't cut your hand. Why would you do that? Safety first. Yeah. Too chunky for my liking. I want to have really fine paper. The first jar full, you blend up. You pour the whole thing into your bucket, where you're gonna keep all your slurry, which is really concentrated pulp, like really thick pulp. Not quite pulp. It's called slurry. I don't really know why. It's kind of like the consistency, I guess, of like a slushy. So maybe it should be called slushy. But it's not. This one, you're actually going to strain out the pulp from the water using your sieve. Look, it's pulp. Pulp.
Pulp!
In with the rest of it. Then you kind of do that for a long time, until you don't have any more paper source. Yeah. Well, when you print, you really like to listen to, like, Passion Pit and OK Go and LCD Sound System. When you make paper, you actually really like to listen to Radiolab podcasts, which, if you guys don't know about yet, you really should. There'll be a link for it, in here. In my pants. Yes, I stole that. So, this is a really long process, even, too long to put in, like, time-elapse time. So, I'm gonna cut it out. I'll let you know how many, blenders full of pulp that I make, or slurry, I guess I should say. I should really be using better lingo.
Paper pulp. I mean, slurry. It's the slurry. That's.
But you're not that smart. Yeah. Are slushies called slushies? Or other things? Other places?